Hey guys, welcome back to Game Borders. I'm Spencer.
I'm Drayden.
And I'm Stalone.
And today we are going to be reviewing an expansion for Raiders of the North Sea. This expansion is called
Fields of Fame.
Fields of Fame, you got it. And so we're going to take a look at what comes in the box, how it intermingles with the base game, and we can now also talk about how it intermingles with the other expansions.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
And then once we do that, we'll come back and give you guys our thoughts on what we think of this expansion. Okay, so now we're going to dive into the box here of this expansion for Raiders of the North Sea. This expansion is called Field of Dreams. Excuse me, not Field of Dreams, Field of Fame. All right, so that is the box. We're going to go dive right into what's in there. So first things first, it comes with an extra piece of the board that goes and butts up to the side of the baseboard. And this is going to add a few more things. As you can see, it's going to add townships, so a couple extra places you can raid. And then it's also going to add this, and that's a fame tracker, and I'll go over that in a minute here. So another thing that it adds is these. So these are little tiles that each player is going to get that will go in front of them. And as you can see, it has a kill, and then a subdue in the middle, and then a flee. I think, yep, a flee over there, and they all do different things. I'll explain that in a sec here. So as you can see, there are two spots, and these are for Jarl cards. So these are the back of the Jarl cards. Well, that's what they look like on the back. They're all the same there. But on the face or the front, they're going to have different people. So you'll have different Jarls that do different things, have different strengths. So quite a bit different deals there. Now we'll dive into what they do. So you're going to take this deck, mix it up, place it right here, and you're going to take their little icons, which are these, and they look like little shields here. So these are going to go in the black bag with all the other resources, and you're going to draw them out when you draw these for the whole game. So say you have a couple of them that draw in here with other resources, obviously, and the other workers. When you go to raid this a place with one of these Jarl tokens on there, you fight a Jarl, and when you fight a Jarl, you pretty much take the Jarl, flip it over, that's the one you're fighting. Now each Jarl, they're a higher strength, so see, there's the higher strength. They also cost because you can add them to your fleet. They also have their different abilities down here, so this one is always in effect. This is what you get if you kill it. So there's three things you can do with the Jarl. You can kill it for fame, you can subdue it to add it to your ship as your teammate for you, or you can run away from it, and when you run away from it, you can lose fame, or you can lose a victory point on the main board. So because it has another tracker, it comes with another color. So orange is another player color that you can use, and it comes with 4 of these instead of 3. It also comes with 1 more for all the other players as well. So if you had orange and purple and green all here set up on one, and say me, player orange, goes here, and I decide to kill this Jarl. So on this symbol you'll see that if I decide to kill it, I have to add 1 to its strength, but I will get 2 fame if I do kill it. So I want to kill it, so I add 1 to its strength. So it has 5 right now. That would go up to 6. So I'd have to take 6 wounds. Now the wounds are another token here that come with this expansion, and they look like little blood drops. So little blood drop there. And so if I wanted to kill this one, I would take 6 of these, and I would add it to, let's see, I would add those 6 to whatever Vikings I wanted to be injured. And I can split them up amongst all my Vikings on my ship, or I can put them all on one to kill one of them off. It doesn't matter. You pretty much choose at your discretion there. So once he's dead, or once the Jarl's dead, they each will have a little benefit or a little perk that you get for killing him. This one is gain 2 silver. So you not only gain 2 silver for killing it, but you also gain 2 fame. So if I was orange, I'd move up 2. And as you can see on this tracker, if you get more fame, you get more victory points at the end of the game. So it's pretty good to get fame. Alright, so that I would get 2. Now let's say if I had 2 Jarls, I would mark that I killed the first one. Now with the second one, I have to either kill it, subdue it, or flee. But if I subdued this first one and he went to my team, I can only, with the second one, I can only subdue it or I can flee. I cannot kill it. So you can't go back this way, you have to go this way. So if I flee from the first one, I can only flee from the second one. So that's how that kind of this tracker works, and it's indicated by these little arrows here at the top. Now let's say I did kill this one, and now this second one I can either kill it, subdue it, or flee. And let's say I want to subdue this one. I want to add this guy to my ship as a team. So now with subduing it, I have to subtract 1 of its strength. So this guy, or this gal actually has 5, so I'd subtract that, so I have to take 4 wounds amongst my crewmates, and I have to pay the amount of silver coins that is indicated on the side here, which is 4. I don't get this little bit down here because I'm not killing her, but she will add this little perk to my ship while she's on there. So she would go onto my ship after I took the 4 wound tokens. We'll get 4 of them here. So after I take the 4 wound tokens, I'd add her to my ship, and now she's part of my crew. And then I'd put this there. So I don't get any fame for converting her to my ship. I only get fame for killing them. Now the other way you can gain fame is this little tracker here. Now on this you can see if I had 6 strength, just like the base game, if you have 6 strength you get 2 victory points. If you have 12 you get 4. But if you overdo it and say I had 20, that means I went over the necessary amount by 8. So that means if I went over by 8, I would get actually 2 additional fame for that, for over having an over a kill of strength or armor. So that's the second way you can gain fame. And then let's see, we've got also the next thing that it adds is these dice. These dice replace the red die that are in the base game. They're pretty much the same. They are just marked with kind of a different artwork, but they also have this little symbol there. So this symbol means that not only are you getting 2 to add to your strength, but you also have to fight a Valkyrie. Now you go up on the Valkyrie scale for these, but they also kill off your guys when you roll them. So if I roll that, that means I would have to kill off one of my shipmates, but I would gain a spot up on the Valkyrie track. It also comes with these, that just indicates that it's 5 times the provisions, and then if you turn around, 5 times silver. So that's pretty good if you have a lot of people playing. That's pretty much all that comes in this expansion. It also comes with some more town folk. They do different things. So, and they're indicated with this little thing in the corner there. That's how you know they go with this expansion. And they just kind of mix right in with the town folk that you had from before. So that's pretty much how you play this one. Now let's go back to the table and tell you what we thought of this expansion. Alright guys, so now that we've taken a look at the components and how it's mixed in with the base game.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah, let's go over
Never seen anything like it.
our pretty much criteria and where it measured up. So let's go with Drayden.
Whoa!
We'll start with 12 o'clock, and we'll just go
Just keep
clockwise.
going.
Yeah.
Circle. Keep going.
Keep her going.
All right.
Keep her running.
My art's the same for all this game. I really liked it, but it's an 8. So.
An 8? Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So I'm giving this expansion a perfect 10 on the art. It matches the base game exactly. I mean, anything else would be just garbage.
Yeah.
So I think the art is perfect with the base game.
Yep. I'm right there, 8 or 9. It's good. It's good. It matches well, and the art is fantastic. Yeah. Upon further review, so I love it. All right, Dre, take
Yeah,
it.
just go
straight on.
Right into
Okay.
it's a train, a locomotive. Don't stop.
All right. Components. I really like this one. I like the
Jarls.
Jarl hunting.
Yeah.
I love doing that. I like showing that I'm the boss. And the small tokens, they kind of mesh well with everything else. So it's not like it adds another thing that you have to do separately to the base
Right.
game.
Like that. Yeah.
Blends in well. So that's a 9.
A 9?
A 9, okay.
Nice. Going
So-
heavy.
Man, I gave this a 7. While I love the components, there's only one thing: the wound tokens. Those things are a bugger
yeah.
to pick up. It's you can't pick them up. I don't know.
And something else to keep
So-
track of in a game that
Yeah.
has a lot already. You know,
Already
so I
has a
know.
lot of deals. So I gave it a 7 on that. Not perfect, but
It's high.
I love the arrows.
Yeah.
Everything else mixes really good with the base game.
Yeah.
So I would give the components a solid 7.
I went with 6, and it's above average. I mean, I didn't actually use much of the Jarls when I went through it, so I don't know how much it truly added. But I didn't. There were a lot of extra tokens, like the wound tokens and stuff. It was a little bit better, but I didn't notice a huge difference
So
in
you
components.
could take it or leave
could
it.
take it or leave
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
All right. So the length of the game is pretty much the same. It just adds another element of how to get points and add a little bit more setup and cleanup.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of a precursor.
Yeah. Just a little spoiler
Yeah,
of what's to
that's what I'm
come.
looking for.
My length is going to be 3. So, yeah, it adds a lot to the length. So the problem is, you got the Jarls adds a whole nother aspect to winning. So you've got that going on, and the Jarl battles take a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
And then you've got 3 more townships that you got to raid as well. So I think it adds quite a bit to the length of the game. So I give it a 3 because
Okay.
it's definitely a negative to me.
Yeah.
This game was already long as it
It's already
is.
pretty long, so adding length is not the best idea.
Yeah.
I went with 4, below average, because I think you're right. I think for the most part, each person is just picking what they're going to do. So it's just
Right.
another thing for them to pick, which isn't too much length, but there is a lot of the extra lands and dealing with the Jarls. It takes away a little bit of the length, so yeah, I brought it down a little bit below average on that.
So what you
making
did?
me look like
At
I need
4.
to do more research on this game.
All right. So
Weird.
now we're going into the downtime.
Downtime. Well, for this game, for this one, it added or it made it the rounds go faster because I always go for the Jarls.
So
made
your
the-
rounds went.
Yeah, so my rounds went up, but everyone else's probably
Yeah.
went down a bit. Well, nobody else really goes for them, so I'm just going to 6.
6.
Six,
Stick
yeah,
with
that's not
it.
bad. That's not bad.
I'm going with a 4 because, yeah, it's like I said, if it didn't add any downtime, then it would be an average of 5. It'd just be, but it does because those Jarl battles take a minute to do.
Right.
Yeah, so it adds downtime, not for the player that's killing the Jarl, but for everybody else
Yeah.
that's just sitting around.
Yep. You've changed my mind. I was going with an average 5, but you're right. Those Jarl battles can take a minute, so I'll take mine down to a 4. Why not? You know, I like the idea of that.
Way to stay strong in your guys'
Yeah, I'm very solid. I gotta.
stick strong to your ideas.
Yeah, he's peeking at my notes, and you can see that I did not stick to what I wrote.
No, it is up and
It's
down.
all over.
I'm changing it. I'm
It's a new game every
snapping
single time.
decisions.
It's the more you think about it, it's more.
All right, setup and cleanup. I did go up, but I probably should go back down to just average 5 because I did forget about the wound tokens in my previous review. But
Yep.
those do add to it just because they are hard to pick up.
And the wound tokens
Trouble,
is
trouble
exactly why I gave it a 4 on
Yep.
the cleanup and setup. Because those things are, I don't know, they should have designed it better. 'cause-
Small things like that are hard.
Yeah.
So hard to try to clean up.
They
on
are
the table.
uniquely slippery to pick up.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I think it's because of the teardrop.
they're designed to
yeah,
slip
so
out
it's
of
just
your
like,
hands.
yeah, it's like trying to clean up a couple of greased pigs. It's just not going to happen.
I feel like I don't even really need to talk because Spence is just picking it all up right where it needs to be laid down. So I'm a 4, and you heard it from him first. That's all there is to it.
All right, so replayability next.
Yep. What do you think?
It doesn't add to the replayability.
Oh.
It doesn't really. I mean, the game is. I don't know. It's long. It doesn't add to it very much, but
What do you?
doesn't take away. Just a 5. Just
5,
a base.
average?
Base of the road.
See, I disagree with you a bit on that. I give it an 8 because I think it did add replayability because you got the Yarrows that are another option to build points at, and it's something new. It's a whole nother strategy that you could play next time you play. So I think it did add replayability. Not perfect, not a perfect replayability factor, but it definitely is above average. So I gave it an 8.
And you've swayed me again. I was a 6, but I'm going up to just a 7. Just a 7. Come on, I'm not a complete sheep here, you guys. Come on. But, no, I'd say 7. It does add a lot of the replayability, a lot of different tactics you can do and stuff like that. And so, yeah, it adds to it. It adds.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Overall, I'm at a 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
9 if you want to twist my arm about it.
I'm gonna go a little harsher on this one. I am going to go probably a 6 out of 10 on the overall rating.
Angry Spence. He does.
Well, let's just put it this way: if you've got enough money to buy this one or the other expansion,
Hall of Heroes,
which you can check out our review as well on that, and I'll link it in this video. But if you pretty much compare both of those, if you don't have the money, don't buy this one. Buy the other one. The other one is a must-have. This one's if you are kind of getting bored of the game and you want to add another aspect, pick it up. But it's by no means necessary.
And let's just close out the video because you've said what I need to say yet again. I was already at a 6. I did not change that. That was a good 6, and I agree. It adds a little bit. It makes a little bit more replayability at some points, but it's not the first expansion I buy. And I'd only, if you love the game, you want more in-depth stuff, pick up Fields of Fame. If you enjoy the game and you just want a little extra, pick up Hall of Heroes for sure. And I mean, you don't need it, but yeah, if you're interested,
if you love the game, definitely pick it up. So that's pretty much our rating there. So if you've liked this video, give us a thumbs up. Go ahead and comment if you want us to review a certain video or a certain game. And obviously, if we would love to have you subscribe to the channel if you want to. We're not gonna, force you to unless you don't.
So we'll block you from our account.
Right. So don't just watch our videos and not subscribe. Don't be a jerk about it. But yeah, until next time, I am Spencer.
And I'm Drayden.
And I'm Stallone. See you later.
Yeah, this has been Game Border, so see you next time.